Good morning and welcome to our new unit that we're starting today, the respiratory system. Even though it's a new unit, it's technically still connected to the last one. It's a little bit windy out here this morning. And you may wonder what I'm doing. Well, because we're starting the respiratory system, I'm going for my morning run. I'm halfway through a morning run. So I've taken a break to make this video because you'll see why running is connected to the respiratory system right away. So the respiratory system is part of the transport unit. The first part was the heart. So we know all about the heart and what it transports, blood to every single cell in our body. And now this transport system is going to be, well, a respiratory system, how oxygen gets transported to all the cells. But if you've been doing your homework, you realize they're actually connected. Even though we studied them separately, the circulatory system and respiratory system aren't different. In fact, they're connected. If you've been doing your homework, you should know that already. We do know that not only are the lungs close to the heart, the lungs are actually part of our circulatory system. So when you labeled your heart, you know that one side of the heart has deoxygenated blood. That deoxygenated blood gets sent to the lungs with the pulmonary system. Then in the lungs, that blood gets oxygenated. Then the lung sends the blood back to the other side of the heart, and that side of the heart pumps it out to the rest of the body. You can hear from my breathing that the activities that we did last unit that raised our heart rate are the same ones that will raise our breathing rate. And that's not a coincidence. If you've been running or active, not only will your heart rate increase, your respiratory rate will increase as well. We'll study the connection between the two, but you probably can figure out why and how they're connected if you've been doing your homework. So yes, the lungs are technically part of the circulatory system, but we'll look at them separately. We'll look at the respiratory system separately. Now, all of our body's connected. So you can't really say that one system is more important than the other, but I think right now we can say the most important system we need to study is the respiratory system. Right now, the entire world has been shut down due to a respiratory disorder. COVID-19 is the disease. Coronavirus is the virus that causes the disease called COVID-19. So hopefully you and your family are healthy and you haven't been touched directly by it, but we've all been touched by it indirectly. The fact that we can't go to school, we can't go and see our friends and family. The entire world has been shut down by a respiratory disorder. So I feel that this is a really, really important unit we need to study. As biology students and a biology teacher, it's our duty to understand how the respiratory system is involved in COVID-19. So the first few days of this week, we're going to learn the structures. We do have to know the basic respiratory system structures first before we can analyze it further. I know we've been ending each unit with Kahoot, but instead of a Kahoot, you're going to have a hand-in assignment, a research assignment based on COVID-19. So I've given you some questions. You'll have to do some research to find the answers. Again, make sure you're using credible sources. Don't use Wikipedia. And remember, I made this worksheet about a week ago, and information is still changing, not only daily, but sometimes hourly in our world. So that worksheet was the most current I can make at that time. So this week we're going to learn the respiratory system and end the unit with trying to figure out how did a respiratory disorder shut down the world so much. The other thing I want to encourage you is not to be afraid, but to realize that if we are healthy, there are some things we can do to keep our friends and our families safe and protected. One of them is knowing your circulatory and respiratory system. So if you learn your circulatory system, being healthy, active, eating well, the more efficient your circulatory system is, the more efficient you are at pumping blood to your cells. And for the respiratory system, doing things like not smoking, not vaping. I am amazed that I see people out when I go shopping for my groceries. I go once a week and that's it. I see people in the grocery store with masks and gloves, then they stand outside and they smoke. I cannot believe we have people in the world still smoking and vaping when we see the world shut down by a respiratory disorder, COVID-19. So, like I said, I just wanted to give you an introduction to this unit. Every system is important, but right now the entire world has been shut down by a respiratory disorder. So we're going to spend this week looking at the respiratory side of it, and then we'll spend a couple weeks at the immunity side. So the next 3 weeks, we're going to really focus all of our systems and connect and related to COVID-19 and our pandemic. Okay, that wasn't meant to scare you, but just an introduction to this unit. Congratulations, you've done 2 units on your own, the digestion and circulatory system, and I know you'll continue to do well. So thank you to those of you that are engaged, and replying, responding, and keeping up with your homework and still doing your learning. So have a good week. Stay safe, be healthy, be active.